Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Call Halal, Yahaba, Shem Yahshua, Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to the elect. Men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. Just about on the road, drop a quick video, hitting back in. Just to touch on some current events. Definitely the Lord is closing in as far as the kingdom of heaven approaching. It's basically at the door because, Esau, he's not going to go too far with his New World Order, his system, so he's going to be stopped in his tracks. But the Lord going to let him get so far. The scripture says, Job, when he about to fill his belly, Job 5, the Lord shall cast upon him while he is eating. So, eating, meaning, accomplishing his New World Order. So, it's going to come in and only go but so far, because if it was up to, these devils, no flesh should be saved, so he going to get them while he eating. And basically why, he's in Sirach 2 and 3, on 5 down, the Lord said he gets you in your security, while you're comfortable. They're going to feel as things is going on well. But right now, he think, the elites, they think things cool and running smooth, running according to plans, so to say. But, because if not, they definitely would come down with a great wrath, knowing but he had but a short time, but one thing that's going on too, World War III intensifying with Russia and with Cuba. So, and that's the beer. The Lord said, I will put hooks in our jaws and turn you back to our old ways, in Ezekiel 38, with Gog and Magog behind the wheel. So just quoting a couple precepts. Brothers in the know, you familiar, but brothers that's not, you can just look it up. Gog and Magog, which pertains to Russia, the Lord put hooks in their jaws and turn them back, to their old USSR ways, even though they're not called that. But, Russia, talking about setting up the going after they get Ukraine, going after Poland and the Baltic states. Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, the Baltic states, right by the Baltic Sea, because they was a part of the Warsaw Pact. They wasn't necessarily actually part of Russia, but they were Soviet satellites. And it was way harder for NATO to move in on Russia's border with them Soviet satellite nations. But while the bear was sleeping from 1991 to basically like 1990 to like 2000, to round it off, the USSR broke down into smaller republics. Then Putin came around like 99. So it was like a decade they was asleep. But he had to get his momentum and establish connects and all of that. But now it's like like 25, 26 years he been in office. And what happened in 62, the Cuban Missile Crisis, is basically what's going on now. And what they don't tell you about the Cuban Missile Crisis, that, Babylon started the whole shit, because, believe it or not, America is the bully. America is the instigator. America is the provoker. The ones who's provoking shit. The hammer of the whole earth, as it says in Jeremiah 50. It's going to be broken into pieces. So they're the oppressors. But what they don't tell you about in 62, when it was about to go down, but the Lord held it back, held back the 4 winds. In Revelation 7, these precepts that come to mind, until, the elect be sealed. But he showed you like a glimpse of the future, and the Lord known to do that in the scriptures, with Isaac being Yahushua, being put on the wood, about to be sacrificed and so on, to show what to come, in the future. It's a shadow of things to come, which is now we in the time of those things coming. So, but yeah, not Putin, but Russia at the time, during the time of Kennedy, they had missile defense systems about to be set up on the borders of Turkey. And, Russia, they wasn't going for it, So they like, yo, we sending ships over to Cuba. And it was like, yo, if you do that, we're going to start World War III. But, it didn't go down at that time because, the elect had to wake up. The elect had to be sealed. I believe majority of the elect woken up, after Apostle Tahar and Great Millstone, the apostles, the bishops came back to New York in 2007. I call that era like the Great Awakening. Some brothers was in like before that. Me, myself, I came in 05, like 2 years before that. But like a major influx of brothers came in to the truth like 08, 09, and just been pouring in. Like sincere brothers that's still like laboring, doing the work. So that was a great time for, the elect is being sealed, and still works to do. But the Lord definitely closing up that number. But Turkey wound up taking the nuclear defense systems and the missiles off the borders of Turkey. That's what they don't tell you, and let me turn this AC down a little bit. Off the borders of Turkey, and that's why Russia turned their ships back from Cuba, because you're like, oh, they turned the ships around. But it was something that happened to make them turn the ships around. They just didn't like, all right, turn the ships around, and they give a bullshit political reason why. But no, it was like, all right, y'all took the missiles back. Like, you told your dudes to stand down, I'm going to tell my dudes to stand down. So, but that's being, like, sparked back up. Because, like, they moving, they setting up for World War III. They said an ICBM from Cuba could hit South Carolina. I mean, like the tight ranges they got. Then they got that Poseidon. And, Cuba is 90 miles from Florida. Man, they let that motherfucking Poseidon off, which is a nuclear sub, like for the water. They said they had like 1,500 foot tsunamis, like coming off of that Poseidon bomb. You know what I mean? And Florida is like a it's not an island, but it's a peninsula surrounded by like 3 sides of water. I believe that's the word, because like people keep calling shit islands. It don't really be an island. Manhattan's an island, but they call like Coney Island. That shit ain't no island. You know what I mean? Because it's like actually connected to the mainland, but it's surrounded by water on 3 sides, but the 4th side not, so it's not technically an island. But Florida, majority of it is surrounded like by water. Then you got like St. Petersburg and like little islands and shit off of Florida, like little exclusive shit, that people don't even know about. They just know about the Miamis, Tampas, and shit like that. But off of Florida, you do have like these different islands. So yeah, and then you got the draft. I want to touch on that a bit. And Esau, he ass backwards. He's so like thirsty, set up his new world order, because the main commandment or goal of the Georgia Guidestones is what? To depopulate the earth to 500 million. So really everything revolves around that. They got other Guidestones, they trying to do that too, but their main thing is like depopulate the earth. So what depopulates the earth? The 2 fastest things, war and homosexuality and lesbianism. People not reproducing and breeding. So, in 2nd Ezra 16, it tell you men shall die off in the wars, and the woman shall mourn, having no bridegroom. So, doing something and still want to fucking bother you and shit. Like, god damn. And I'm like, at the light. But anyway, it's just the spirit of the Lord, though. But, yeah, so a lot of these, you know, homosexuality and war could kill a lot of people fast. You know, homosexuality is kind of like, and lesbianism, because, you know, a lot of these homos, they had kids. These lesbos, they have kids. So it's a slower process than war. You know, you draft a whole bunch of people for war, you know, and especially in a tense war like World War III, you could depopulate the earth like very, very, very quickly. With a war with these conventional and high-tech weapons, you know, you definitely could depopulate the earth fast. But Esau done feminized the men. And these Gen Zs out here, they ain't trying to go to war. They ain't even trying to work. They ain't trying to do nothing laborious. Nothing. That's why they coming out with the UBI, which is basically Universal Basic Income. And you're going to be in the house. You're going to be in the metaverse, the digital world, and they're going to give you a certain amount. Basically, it's going to be like welfare for the, you know, for the general public. 15-minute cities, and you just going to be in the house. And they kind of like baited that with the whole C-19, with the remote work and all of that. So it's a lot here. So yeah, so these Gen Zs, they ain't trying to work like that at all. You know, they ain't trying to do nothing. So, and they've been like popping up on the TikToks and all that. Like, I'm not going to war for this country. And a lot of things been exposed with Babylon. You know, the George Floyd, and everybody see, you know, through the internet, you know, they losing the information war. Like Hillary Clinton said, you know. So a lot of people is hip to Babylon. Patriotism at an all-time low. And these new millennials, the fighting age, they don't want to fight. And they trying to up the draft age to like older, like damn near elderly people, you know. Then these Americans, they not in shape. So you can't put them in basic training within like, you know, like 6 months. You know what I mean? They're not built for that, you know, physically or mentally. You know, so it's like you want to kill people off the war, start World War III, but you don't feminize everybody, so they're not built for war, want to go to war. So it's just, that's like an oxymoron right there. So Esau doing everything in his power to, you know, depopulate the earth and bring things down. So, you know, just a couple of pointers, you know, to point out. And, to the next video, Shalom, Yahba, Kol Yah, Yahba, Shem, Shabbat, Shalom.